The chairperson is Professor Dr. Syeda Saima. I will kindly request you to join us on stage. Dr. Syeda Saima is the chairperson for this discussion, as mentioned before, and is the head of, and is the chairperson as well of Department of Psychology at Government College University, Lahore.
My first question, ma'am, to you, ma'am, Dr. Syeda Saima. What are your views about different forms of child abuse in our society, and what laws and what steps are taken in order to reduce the occurrence of this phenomenon?
Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share my views on a very sensitive topic, which is child abuse. Since so many young psychologists I can see sitting in this hall, so I would like to start with an abuse. What is an abuse? Abuse is misuse of harm. It is an intention to harm or to control any other person. So, abuse is misuse of power when any person attempts to harm a person or to control another person. So, coming to the child abuse is child maltreatment. It is an intentional harm or actual child maltreatment to a child under the 18 years of age. So we are all aware that there are different types of child abuse. This constitutes of physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and it also includes neglect. Now, how this abuse differs from neglect? Neglect is on the part of the parents, that is the lack of parenting here. When parents or caregivers fail to attend to physical needs, emotional needs, educational needs, medical needs. ठीक है? आपने देखा होगा, if you go back to your childhood, अगर आप अपने बचपन में चले जाओ ना, तो आपको you might have seen a child with a running nose, not neatly dressed up. It means that this child is being neglected by the parents. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो उस class से belong करता है जहाँ पे उसको अच्छी तरह से वो neatly dress up नहीं हो सकता. This is a case of neglect. Neglect क्या है? Whenever parents let the children to explore unsafe environments. तो जब unsafe environments को explore करता है बच्चे को आप dangerous environments में छोड़ देते हो, तो it increases the risk of victimization. जहाँ तक जो consequences है neglect के, consequences of neglect is that this can cause this can affect your physical development, delays in physical growth in terms of height and weight, cognitive delays and development, and especially it can affect the bonding between the parents and the child. जब parents ही बच्चों का ख्याल नहीं रखेंगे, they will not address to their basic needs, to the food, clothing, shelter, to the medical needs, to the dental needs, to their educational needs. How can they develop trust? This is directly going to affect the bond between the parents and the child. And if a child cannot trust the parent, who can he trust in the outer world? Coming to the physical abuse, as we all know, physical abuse includes slapping, hitting, kicking, but there are very worse consequences of physical abuse. Physical abuse can cause depression, it can cause low self-esteem. हमारे यहाँ सबसे बड़ी जो एक challenging situation है कि parents समझते हैं कि physical abuse से it is a very good technique to discipline your child. No, it is not. Emotional abuse is also very common, and emotional abuse includes name calling, bullying, and insulting or intimidating and humiliating children. Child जो emotional abuse है, उसमें मैं समझती हूँ कि बच्चा जो है बहुत ज़्यादा socially withdrawn हो जाता है, avoidant उसका behavior होता है, तो हमें ये देखना चाहिए कि bullying क्यों हो रही है. Bullying behavior जो है वो बच्चे करते हैं जिनकी permissive parenting होती है. There is no check and balance on their behavior. Then lastly, I will talk about the sexual abuse. Sexual abuse includes sexual fondling, indecent exposure, and pornography. Sexual abuse की consequences are worse. It can result into post-traumatic stress disorder, flashbacks, sleeplessness, sleep disturbances, and a feeling of shame and guilt. also work. What can be done to reduce this child abuse? क्या किया जा सकता है कि हम अपने जो society level पे child abuse को कम कर दें? First of all, I would suggest that government must announce school psychologist vacancies to cater the social emotional problems of the children. अभी यहाँ पे डॉक्टर मिराज ने बात की, and I fully agree with her. By school psychologists, we mean qualified psychologists. And otherwise, if we start hiring people who don't meet the criteria, this comes into professional malpractice. The government must ban porn sites. They must ban porn sites and exposure to indecent exposure to material in order to prevent sexual abuse of children. एक बहुत important काम जो हम कर सकते हैं और जो कोविड के दौरान भी किया गया है कि mental health helplines जो हैं वो बनाई गई हैं. The government should introduce child helplines, and the clinicians, school psychologists, child psychologists, they can provide psychological support to the children who have been subjected to any form of child abuse. So I think this wonderful service is also being rendered by Child Protection. दूसरा हम पेरेंट हेल्पलाइन जो है वो भी बनाई जा सकती है, हेल्पलाइन for parents. So we can inculcate this attitude in parents to seek professional help to deal with the socio-emotional problems. Universities consultancy services schools को दे सकती हैं in developing and doing personality profiling of children. Schools must organize seminars for the parents, and they must emphasize on positive parenting. In past, some NGOs were doing wonderful job. For instance, the Syeda organization that I know and Child Protection Bureau जो है वो seminars करती थी, and they used to disseminate information to children about the bad touch and good touch. So if they are being, children are being treated in this way, it can be a wonderful preventive measure against sexual victimization. एक बात मैं यहाँ कहूँगी, in order to prevent abductions, kidnapping, we can promote stranger danger idea. Stranger danger idea देखिए, terrorism के दौरान हमने अपने बहुत young बच्चों को behavior emergency rehearsals कराई. So we can also promote stranger danger idea by giving training to children how to deal with strangers, not to interact with strangers. And schools can also, I think, that in order to control emotional abuse, they can form strict policies regarding bullying behavior. Bullying prevention committees जो हैं वो बनाई जा सकती हैं. Or these committees can include senior students who can monitor who can monitor whether any child is being bullied. Parenting styles जो है वो बहुत important है. Parenting styles हमें educate करना चाहिए कि authoritative parenting style ही best parenting style है. फिर यहाँ पे मैं ये भी कहूँगी कि हम दानिस्ता या ना दानिस्ता तौर पे हमसे बहुत गलती हो जाती है. इसमें being a teacher मैं कहूँगी The teacher should be very much careful while interacting with young children. हम जब बात कर देते हैं कभी कभी negative labeling कर देते हैं, it inculcates a sense of हम तो कह देते हैं मगर बच्चा सारा वक्त सोचता रहता है and he may develop inferiority complexes. आखिर में मैं कहूँगी कि media awareness campaigns जो हैं वो बहुत important हैं. And I think media awareness campaigns, forming plays on abuse, advertisements, हम बहुत सारे advertisements रोज जो ये TV पे देखते हैं. मगर अगर हम media awareness campaigns, media अपना role play करे, तो I believe that it can reduce all forms of child abuse. With this, I end my talk and thank you very much.